My Bill tried to get me fired, so I ruined his wedding photos. 4 years ago, my sister married Kevin. He constantly one-upped everyone at family dinners. If you mentioned a vacation, his was better. If you shared good news, his was bigger. I mostly ignored it to keep peace with my sister. That changed when my boss called me into his office. Someone filed a complaint claiming I'd botched their taxes and cost them $5,000. Corporate required a full investigation. For 3 weeks, I couldn't take new clients while I proved this person didn't exist. I traced the complaint to a fake email created the same day it was sent. My boss cleared me, but those weeks were hell. Then my sister mentioned during a call that Kevin had bragged about it at a barbecue. He was mad I'd corrected him about tax deductions in front of my parents 2 months earlier. He wanted to teach me a lesson about respect. When my wife told me, I felt sick. He'd tried to destroy my career over his bruised ego. I stopped attending family events where he'd be. My sister noticed, but Kevin told her I was being dramatic. 10 months later, they announced their wedding. My wife was asked to be a bridesmaid. Our kids would be in the ceremony. I wasn't in the wedding party, which was fine. I planned to sit quietly in back. Then Kevin messaged me. He said he wanted to fix things between us. As a peace offering, he'd rent suits for me and my son since the wedding was out of state. My wife thought it was thoughtful. I didn't trust it. Kevin never did anything without wanting something. I packed my charcoal gray suit anyway. 2 days before the wedding, I picked up the rental suits. The employee handed me garment bags. Inside were cream-colored tuxedos with rose gold vests, identical to what the groomsmen were wearing. I understood immediately. Kevin wanted us to match the wedding party in photos. He'd insisted I not bring my own suit, so I'd have no choice. I texted my wife a photo. She said, "You've got to be kidding me." I told her I was wearing my own suit. She said, "Good." The next day, everyone got ready. My wife wore her rose bridesmaid dress, my kids their wedding outfits. I put on my charcoal suit with a burgundy tie. Kevin saw me in the venue lobby before the ceremony. He walked over and asked where the tux was. I said it didn't fit, so I wore my own. He suggested I change quickly. I walked away. He couldn't make a scene with guests arriving. After the ceremony, the photographer organized family photos. Because my wife was in the wedding party and my kids were too, I kept getting called into shots. My wife would grab my hand and pull me into frame. The photographer said, "Bride and groom with wedding party," and there I was. Then, both families together, and I stood right next to my wife. Every photo had 8 people in cream and rose gold, and me in dark charcoal. My wife stayed next to me in every shot. When they posed just the wedding party, she'd say, "Can we get one with my husband too?" The photographer never questioned it. Family always wants pictures together at weddings. By the end, I was in at least 30 different photos, standing out like a dark stain on white fabric. 6 weeks later, my sister called my wife, crying. The photos had arrived and I was in most of them wearing completely wrong colors. She said it looked like I'd shown up in whatever I found in my closet. Kevin told her I'd ruined their photos on purpose. My sister asked if we'd fly back to retake the family shots properly. My wife said we couldn't afford another flight and had no vacation days left. My sister said Kevin had paid for those tuxes specifically so we'd match. My wife said nobody asked him to do that. They never retook the photos. Whenever my sister posts wedding pictures, I'm there in my dark gray suit interrupting the coordinated palette. She crops me out when possible, but in group shots there's no avoiding it. The bride and groom surrounded by their perfectly matched wedding party, and me standing there like I crashed the event. Kevin unfriended me on everything. My sister barely speaks to me now.